Why do you build?
I'm Sean Faulkner, based out of San Francisco, California, and I'm a builder and data enthusiast. And I'm here because I love building with Snowflake, and I love to learn from others that are doing cool things on the platform.
I'm Chris Hasty, based outside of London in the UK. I lead a data practice, and I'm really excited about automating everything that I can.
I'm Maya in Slovenia. I'm a consultant, and I help my customers succeed with data.
Ich bin Snowflake-Architekt und ich will da Plattformen bauen, die unsere Kunden begeistern.
The expansion of the Snowflake Data Cloud in Korea.
I like to build data products.
I'm here to build solutions on Data Cloud.
To build a community.
To make data accessible and valuable to everyone.
And I'm so excited to live in this AI era.
I love data sharing and data collaboration.
And I'm here to help others get the most out of Snowflake.
And I love making queries that scale fast with Snowflake.
With data sharing and data clean room.
Let's solve the Snowflake Native Apps.
I love to use new features on Snowflake.
Here to build products that make analytics leaner, faster, and smarter.
Helping customers accelerate their digital transformation journey to cloud.
From using Snowflake.
I'm here to build.
Welcome, builders.
Please welcome Snowflake Director of Product, Snowpark and Developer Platform, Jeff Holland.
Good morning, everyone. Oh my goodness, can you feel the energy in this room? I am honestly thrilled to be here this morning in a room full of thousands of builders at our second ever Builder Keynote. And what I love about this keynote in the audience here is this is our chance to geek out. This is about showing and not telling how Snowflake is providing the best platform possible for the builder journey. So let's talk about that journey. The builder journey starts with discovery, and it evolves all the way into scalable solutions. The world in which we're operating today is running at 1,000 miles an hour, and with AI, it is not slowing down. So how can Snowflake help each of you keep up with those innovations and deliver value to your organizations quickly? So as I mentioned, the journey starts with discovery. I hope over the last couple of days, you've had a chance to do a lot of discovery from our platform keynote and more than 400 Snowflake sessions led by experts like customers and partners. And this Snowflake ecosystem has so much to offer with the latest approaches, tools, and solutions to help you all find the solutions to best suit your specific needs and address your specific challenges. So please make sure you're getting the most out of this in-person experience. And discovery is really just the beginning. The journey starts to take shape in the learning and evaluation phase. So while you're learning here, this only happens once a year. And we want to make sure you have the best possible set of resources so that you can continue to learn from the comfort of your workspace, whether that's at home, a coffee shop, or an office. So to make this possible, we've invested a bunch of energy into building over 50 quick starts, our free workload certifications on Snowflake University, and our Snow Pro certifications that over 500 of you have completed this week. And today, I also want to highlight a new program developed by our own developer relations team called North Star. So North Star is a combination of in-person workshops and self-paced courses. So you can join North Star workshops to skill up on specific features like streaming, connectors, or Snowpark container services. But North Star also includes courses on data engineering, apps, and AI available on Coursera and other online course providers, all of this for free. So our first Coursera course actually dropped a few weeks ago. I hope many of you give it a try. And this is the first of many investments we're making to ensure that each of you have the best access to on-demand education, not just for you, but your entire teams, to go quickly from hello world to MVP. So you get some hands-on experience, and now you're ready to build. And at this phase is usually when you realize, you know what, there's so many steps that need to get done. Everything from gathering data to using AI and presenting it in a front-end application. So to help understand how Snowflake is helping with this full stack of development, I want to show a little bit into how rich the Snowflake platform is. And while we provide functionality for every step in the process, this is all integrated into a single platform. We don't make you do the hard work for figuring out how all of these different pieces click together. It all just clicks together in a single unified platform. So let's start with the foundation. We know that the security and governance of your data is the most important thing. And in Snowflake, data remains not only protected when it's stored, but anytime it's being processed across our flexible compute options, which include support for any programming language, flexible hardware options to best suit the needs of your work. And all of this without you having to worry about the complexity of deploying, managing, or maintaining infrastructure or servers, or without having to deal with the complexity of managing data security and governance across multiple systems. And sitting on that foundation is our full stack set of features to let you go from ingestion to productization. So for ingestion, we're making it easier than ever to bring batch and streaming together with things like Snowpipe streaming, connectors, and my personal favorite, which is zero ETL with data sharing. For transformation, Snowpark data frames and dynamic tables push the boundaries in turning raw data into curated data sets. So you can surface insights to your business teams that they can act on. All of this doing it cheaper and faster than other large-scale processing platforms. And because you have such a variety of data, we know you're working with all types of data. Our advanced analytics capabilities added support for things like time series and geospatial, so you can tap into additional value, all without any additional complexity. Now, of course, predictive AI and machine learning is not going away, so we're continuing to invest in things like custom model development with Snowpark ML, and its set of integrated platform components like feature store and model registry. And just yesterday at the platform keynote, Christian announced so many new updates around Snowflake Cortex for generative AI, all alongside a full suite of new features like Cortex Search and Cortex Analysts that let you actually talk to your data from anywhere. And to get all these pieces into production and turn that code into applications, Streamlit and the Native App Framework make it easy to share and collaborate, whether that's internally or externally through the Snowflake Marketplace, which is a single-stop shop to discover data, apps, or AI. Now, this is a lot, I realize it. It's actually really exciting. To me, what I love is that only 2 years ago, more than half of those things that I just talked about didn't even exist. But I want to take a moment here and actually thank all of you. Speaking for Snowflake, this would not be possible to build without all of you being active participants in this community. So I truly want to thank you so much for pushing us, working with us, and helping us in building this fully integrated platform to help you get more value from your data. And we've also heard your feedback. We know this alone, your developer journey is not complete, which takes us to scaling. Now here with scaling, I actually want to talk about scaling across your teams. We know you're not building alone. So how can we make it so that as you're building these apps, we can do so in a smooth way that encourages transparency between application development to IT operations teams? So I'm really excited about this new world of collaboration centered around declarative and automated deployments, things like CI/CD pipelines and DevOps. To do that, we made it easy so that you can develop from whatever code tool you want, whether that's Snowflake Notebooks, VS Code, or your favorite IDE. And you can do all of this collaboratively and integrated with the industry standard Git at the center of it all. And we know you're not just collaborating with data, but also with code. So we've developed a full suite of native DevOps experiences on top of this platform, like the Snowflake CLI, a new suite of Python APIs, Git integration, Snowflake Trail for monitoring, and so much more. To help you further accelerate development time to insights, we're embedding AI into every part of the platform. We want to give you all superpowers with AI. Features like universal search to help you quickly find the relevant data or apps, and Copilot to accelerate SQL development with more languages to come into that Copilot surface. And there's one more thing that I love as a developer, which is that everything you build for Snowflake automatically works across major cloud public providers, thanks to Snowflake's cross-cloud technology, so you can just build once and deploy seamlessly across regions and clouds. Now, seeing this all together really does show that with data at the core, Snowflake can truly offer value across your entire organization. Now, if it's not clear, I'm really excited about this. I love Snowflake. I love what it can do in this new era of development. And I also truly want to thank you again for your feedback and your collaboration in this. So thank you for being a part of this community. Now, I said a few minutes ago that this is about showing and not telling. So let's do that now. Let's show this all in action. And what better way to do that than seeing it through the eyes of Tasty Bites? Now, Tasty Bites is a fictional company. They run over 400 food trucks, but they have the same types of data and AI challenges that you're all facing today. So by raise of hands, who was able to see the first part of the Tasty Bites story last year? Okay, a good few. I loved it. Honestly, I was watching it last year. To me, it was far more entertaining than any Netflix series I've seen in the last year. I kid you not. I laughed out loud many times. But for those of you who did not have the chance to see it, that's okay. Rather than me telling you what happened, I thought it'd be a little bit more fun for us to see what happened previously on Tasty Bites.
Previously on Tasty Bites.
Excited?
Tasty Bites runs a fleet of over 400 food trucks.
The challenge, increase sales per truck. But how? Problem number one, batch data and streaming data are stuck in silos.
Accessing and processing data of daily transactions from our 450 food trucks was not easy.
Problem number two, analysts and data science teams are siloed by their programming language.
As an analyst, I can tell you it's been great for SQL and batch, but I would also like to be able to use the inputs and outputs that Marie's science team is working on.
Two infrastructures, two teams, too many problems. How'd they solve it? With Snowpipe streaming and dynamic tables, they brought batch and streaming data together. And with Snowpark ML and Streamlit, they helped analysts and data science teams work together more closely.
We now have SQL and Python that is bringing our data teams together to collaborate more.
With the help of real Snowflake customers, the Tasty Bites team have solved their underlying data and platform problems. What challenges will they tackle this time? Stay tuned to see what they'll do next.
And with that, I'm so excited to introduce the next chapter of Tasty Bites. I know, how awesome is that, right? Let's go.
Hey, Polita, I was just about to walk to your desk.
Hey, Amanda, I hope it's to share some chocolates from your recent trip to France.
Yes, I have those, but I need to talk to you about something else.
Okay.
All right, so the board has been asking all of the product team how we can inject AI magic into everything.
Amanda, AI magic into everything? I mean, what does that even mean?
Okay, I know the ask is a bit vague, but I've been doing some research, and there's some really exciting opportunities here for making great product and user experiences. So, to start, I've been talking with some of our business teams, and they have a ton of unstructured data. Tweets, customer reviews, service tickets. It's largely untapped, so it's a huge opportunity to unlock with LLMs. And there's a lot of other teams with similar untapped unstructured data that we could also be unlocking with LLMs.
Okay, it sounds interesting. Tell me a little bit more.
Okay, just ideas. But I bet we could be analyzing our millions of reviews to identify emerging trends and customer needs and preferences. Just imagine the edge that could give us on competition. I mean, we could be delivering better experiences faster, or at least arming our marketing teams to be more targeted in our offerings.
Okay, well, that sounds really challenging.
Okay, well, another idea. We could be enhancing the speed at which our customer service teams assist customers. I imagine we could be using our data and LLMs to improve agent onboarding, service call processes, escalation procedures, and just generally surfacing our knowledge in a much more intuitive way.
Okay, well, those do sound promising, but have we considered some of the potential challenges, like data privacy concerns or the time it takes to do new vendor onboarding?
Okay, totally valid. I honestly haven't thought it all through, but I was thinking you and the team could help with that.
Okay, yeah, I think I can do some initial planning around that, which reminds me, we have a team meeting. I'm going to bring this up and talk to the team, and I'll circle back with you.
Awesome. I will drop those chocolates by your desk and catch up later.
Thanks, Amanda.
Awesome.
Good morning, team. How's everybody doing?
Good, but so much AI everywhere happening around.
Yeah, well, then you're going to love this. I was just talking to Amanda, and she said the board told her that we need to put AI magic everywhere. And I'm going to need your help.
How can we help?
Okay, so there's a lot of hype around AI, but we think maybe there's some real value that we can get to. So for instance, we have all these customer review forms. How can we get some value out of that and help our customer service teams?
So the customer reviews is one area I've been thinking about, but I'm not sure about how feasible it is.
Okay, keep talking, and I'm going to take some notes.
Well, so the first challenge is the volume of data we have to analyze, like millions of reviews and in multiple languages. And then the complexity of setting up LLMs and keeping them updated, the latest foundation models, and then moving all this data around securely. Like, if only things were as easy as calling a SQL function.
Okay, so to summarize, the volume of data in multiple languages and integration work could slow us down from a time and security perspective.
You're really good at summarizing, like an LLM.
Ha! Keep those jokes for later in case your demos don't work.
Ouch.
Okay, how about you, Marie? Have you gotten any early thoughts on this, and what gotchas do you foresee?
Yeah, on my end, I'm worried about not having the right tools and infrastructure. It will first be how to stand up a service where our documents are indexed and ready to be searched, but also building a chatbot as the interface for representatives is not a trivial task.
Yeah, okay, well, it's great that you guys have already been thinking about this. You bring up some good points about whether we have the right tools and infrastructure to support document search and a chatbot UI. I'm going to go talk to Amanda about some of these. You guys keep thinking about this, and we'll circle back in a little bit. Hey, Amanda, we just had a really productive meeting, and here are some of the challenges that we foresee already with these two projects.
Hit me.
So for Felipe, what he really needs is some SQL functions that he can use to call LLMs just the way he calls any other SQL function today.
Okay.
And for Marie, the tech stack that she needs for these generative AI projects needs to evolve with better support for vectors and easy ways to turn ideas into conversational apps.
Okay, those definitely sound important, and we really want to think about how the pieces we build here can scale, because we're going to want to build a lot more products. You know what? I actually have a friend who works at Vimeo, and I think he's been working on something very similar. Let me catch him today. I know he's in town for Snowflake Summit.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks, Amanda, and I'll add you to our next team meeting, and you can share with us what you've learned.
Awesome. All right, let me give Babak a call.
Hello?
Hey, Babak, it's Amanda. How's Snowflake Summit going?
It's going great. Let's catch up.
Yeah, it'd be great to see you. Actually, I do see you. Why don't you come on up here? Hey, great to see you.
Good to see
Welcome
you.
to our SF office. You want a snack?
Later.
All right. Well, I'm so glad that you could be here today because there are things that I want to talk to you about that our team has been working on that I think are similar for you.
Right. Can I help?
Well, our team's been working to integrate more AI into our product. We started with our pricing recommendation system to increase the profits of our food truck fleet. For this project, we used a lot of structured transactional data where we looked at seasonal changes. We now have a new challenge where we want to use LLMs to process the unstructured customer and text data that we have. And I'm curious if your team has been working on anything similar.
Of course, as a SaaS business, one of our main business goals is to personalize user experience and marketing messaging to boost engagement with the platform, improve retention, reduce churn, and increase conversion. The easier we make it for users to discover new features, the more likely they are to convert and upgrade. We started with structured data by examining product usage patterns and statistical analysis to predict what users might do next based on the previous action. This allows us to recommend actions that can lead to higher engagement and conversion.
That sounds a lot like what we want to do. We've been using Snowflake to develop and deploy ML models to improve our business, but we're still figuring out how to expand into text and other unstructured data. And I imagine at Vimeo, you must have a ton of text and unstructured data sets that you could be using to improve customer experiences.
Of course, as you can imagine, running a video platform involves dealing with video, audio, and of course, video transcript in text format. These transcripts can be very helpful with understanding how customers are using the platform. And when it comes to dealing with text, LLMs are the first option that comes to mind. So wanted to explore this option. But definitely there are challenges. The main one, the biggest one for us is security and privacy, because we have millions of users who are trusting us with their data.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And security is definitely top of mind for us as well. But we're also really worried about LLM hallucinations.
Oh, exactly. As you might know, LLMs are not always spot on. So we took a phased approach. We started by using the results internally in our recommendation system instead of showing them directly to the users. And this way we can iterate on the models until they're reliable enough for more customer-facing use cases.
That's really interesting. Are there other benefits you're seeing?
Yeah, another thing is measuring ROI. Running LLMs is expensive, so you need to have a clear idea of the cost involved. So, and lastly, we're a data engineering team, mostly without a lot of dedicated AI resources, which is something that is in high demand right now. So we had to get creative in how we approach this entire journey.
That makes a lot of sense, and you're not alone in that. We also don't have dedicated developers or ML engineers and operations teams to help us set up and integrate LLMs in a secure way. It's been really difficult for us to get started.
I hear you. Like I mentioned, we're primarily a data engineering team who's diving into the world of AI. So with limited resources and experience, we found some ways that Snowflake is actually helping us with this journey to make it easier. We're running the entire pipeline in Snowflake in one environment, which is something our data engineering team is already familiar with. And so this makes it easier to get up to speed. And somehow it compensates for the lack of dedicated resources. And having one environment means we have less overhead of dealing with observability, monitoring, and even vendor management when you deal with multiple tools and vendors. And on top of that, we bring the models to the data. It means that our data does not leave Snowflake, and we are not relying on external APIs to run LLMs. So it's all contained, which is great for security and efficiency.
Well, that's great to hear that you're getting both those security and efficiency gains.
Yeah, this helps us iterate faster as well, which is great and important for accuracy of the model.
Well, that's really important because we also really want to be able to easily and cheaply try out new ideas, iterate, and find out the ones that are good.
Totally. When it comes to ROI, the Snowflake credit and usage model helps easily isolate and measure the cost of running LLMs. This way you can track the spending and limit it if necessary. So overall, I would say the Snowflake has made it easier for a data engineering team to run models, to experiment with and run models using LLMs.
Well, all of that sounds really great. I don't suppose I could take a look at your platform architecture.
Sure, yeah, let's do it.
Well, and look at that. It's magically on the big screen.
It says, see the user journey. User signs up, uploads videos, and interacts with the platform. Then we tap into a variety of data sources to understand the user use cases, and that includes the user actions, firmographic information, for example, and some other enriched data sources that we get through Snowflake Marketplace. But on top of that, the one that stands out is the video transcripts, and that use Cortex to extract insights out of the actions to make the marketing messaging personalized. We use it across different channels, including email marketing and in-product messaging, and the goal is to drive engagement and help users discover the features that are most beneficial for them.
That's really exciting. I mean, that type of personalization and arming our marketing teams is exactly what we're looking to do too. I'm definitely going to let our team know about Cortex AI in addition to Snowflake ML. I'm curious, now that you have this set up though, are you thinking about any other products you're building on top of it?
Oh yeah, we have something in the work already. We are on a roadmap. We are planning to develop an AI-driven BizOps system. So for instance, the next step is to build an assistant, AI assistant for the sales team. This assistant will provide a deep view of the customers using the data that was previously not accessible because of its unstructured nature. Yeah. So the main goal here is to improve conversion and help our sales team close more deals eventually. By leveraging AI, we can turn unstructured data into valuable insights that would give our sales team the competitive edge they need.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, I'm glad to see that this new architecture is helping you onboard new projects with ease. Thank you so much for stopping by our office to share this. Can I give you some Tasty Bite chocolates to go? All right, here you go.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Hello, team. All right, here's the takeaway from my meeting with Vimeo. So, I learned Snowflake has a ton of new generative AI functionality as part of Cortex, and this includes LLMs available as SQL functions, which is what you wanted, Felipe. Yeah. Now, we mostly chatted about Cortex and the LLM functions, and there's tons of efficiency and productivity and security gains that we could be getting that we could talk about later. But I was also reading up on some of the announcements made yesterday at Snowflake Summit, and it looks like there's also a fast path to building document chatbots using a combination of Cortex Search and Streamlit chat elements. All right, I got to run to another meeting, but I will keep digging and I'll check in with you guys later.
Thanks, Amanda.
Thank you.
Sounds like some of those are just the right things for us. Okay, let me write these down. Felipe, do you want to give those LLM functions a try? It sounds like it should be easy to get a few things done with these LLMs in just a few minutes.
Well, I was listening and I already started playing with it, but I'm not ready to show it off.
Okay, let's make this fun. I know you've been eyeing the chocolates on my desk. If you can get an MVP done in the amount of time it takes me to heat up my lunch, those chocolates are yours.
You said chocolate. Okay. Let's raise the stakes. If I can build you a working demo, like to surface what customers most dislike about our food trucks and communicate that feedback back to the truck operators in the time that it takes you to heat your lunch, then I get chocolate and everyone gets chocolate.
Wait. Everyone gets chocolate? Like our entire audience? I mean, I don't know. Do you guys even want chocolate?
Whoa. Okay.
Okay, Felipe, you're on.
Okay. Game on.
Ready?
Ready.
Set, go.
Come here, let me show you. We have here our table with track reviews, and you can see here on the notebooks, dark mode, that I have these reviews already in multiple languages. A lot of English here, but we can count the reviews per language. That's easy, SQL cell. Where did my monitor go? I like when this happens, in the middle of the food heating. And it decided to die, and now we have to fill time while the computer turns back on or something. I'm going to take the cable out, I'm going to take the cable in, and I have no idea how to continue this without the computer. But everyone is enjoying it. And we might need to skip the demo because it just went dark.
So,
oh my God.
My question is,
okay.
If you didn't get the MVP done, do they still get chocolate?
It's back. look at this. It's my demo.
Okay.
I'm going to play like we're playing it in the so you have the reviews in multiple languages, and you can see where I'm translating them from any language into English. That's my SQL query. And we can get the sentiment for each review, too. So once I have the sentiment, I know if the review was positive or negative. And then, what about we visualize how these reviews are distributed?
Does this materialize the results?
Yes, so I materialized all the results, so we can do all the queries faster now. It took only 2 minutes because translate and sentiment are specialized functions. And now,
but can we visualize those results?
yes, look at this beautiful chart. That's Python that's taking the results of my previous SQL query.
That's really cool. I can see that most people really like our food trucks, but I want to focus in on those ones on the left with the low reviews.
Oh, it's the low reviews. Like, it's always the haters that get all the attention. So let me look at the reviews, what's the negative part of the curve there. But yes, I'm just trying to show you how cool is that I'm combining here SQL and Python, and I'm using the results. And here is how we can find the track that's getting the most number of very negative reviews. And it's track 5.
Oh no, what's going on with track 5?
Well, look at these reviews. Like, the service was terrible, the quality is extremely disappointing, the ramen was ice cold. Like, that's bad.
Those reviews are really terrible. We need to email the food truck operator right away, but we don't want to just send him all the reviews. Can you make the email a little bit more actionable for him?
Okay, so let me use an LLM for that. We can use Snowflake Arctic, and here I'm asking it to analyze each review. But I don't want text out. I want data that I can analyze. So I'm asking Arctic to give me JSON results, and I'm even giving it a sample JSON of this is how I want the output to be.
Okay, well, time's about to run out, so I can see you can quickly count the top categories, like food quality and hygiene.
That's the JSON I get back, and then once I get JSON out, I can take it with a SQL query and count what are the top categories having problems.
So how do we actually get an email out of this?
Well, that's the easy part. I don't have to write the email. I can just ask Arctic again to write a nice email to the administrator of this food truck, and we can use the data we just compiled. And this is a simple SQL query. Arctic, write me this email, say what issues the customer have, and use the data from the previous SQL cell. And then, in a few seconds, we have an email ready to go. How's your lunch doing?
Look at that. It looks like you've got the email.
Yep, that's it. I'm done.
And that's just in time. Okay. So to confirm, were you able to analyze the root cause of the problem by going through thousands of reviews in multiple languages?
I did.
And were you able to do all of this without putting our data privacy at risk?
No data at risk. Like, it never left our Snowflake account, and now I can put this all together in a live dashboard to keep monitoring everything.
Okay, well, nice job, Felipe. It seems like you've gotten the entire audience chocolate. So now's the time, you guys. Check under your seats for a chocolate bar. And if you have a Tasty Bites golden sticker on your chocolate bar,
like this one,
then you've won some cool free stuff that you can claim at our Summit Snow Store. Enjoy, and if you have any questions, we'll be around after the show to help. Okay, that was a lot of fun, but we still have our customer service project. Let's go check and see what Maria's up to.
I just saw the whole chocolate thing and Felipe's computer not turn on. That was amazing. I wish I had gotten a challenge while I was building out my demo.
Yeah, next time. But I still want to see what you're building.
Okay, Since all of our customer service documentation exists in some type of document or wiki, I started looking into a chatbot that can quickly dig through the documents to generate a result. Turns out, Snowflake has a couple of ways to do this. One way is for me to build the search functionality using their embed and vector similarity functions. The other way, just announced yesterday, is a new Cortex search API that abstracts a lot of it.
OK, so I'm new to all of this search and RAG stuff. Can you catch me up?
Yeah, there's actually a quick start that has a pretty useful diagram. Let me pull it up. OK, RAG, which stands for Retrieval Augmented Generation, can be broken down into exactly those 3 steps.
OK.
The first thing you'll want to do before asking questions is turn all of your documents into vectors by breaking them into pieces in a process called chunking. This is what will be used to augment. Then, once you have that repo of documents in a vector space, you can ask questions to it. What happens in the search side of things is that the question is also embedded, and the ranking algorithm finds the most relevant answers. This is the retrieval. But if we stop there, all we get are chunks of text. What we want are tailored answers to our questions. Here's where an LLM helps turn chunks of text into coherent responses. And that's the generation.
OK, that sounds complex, Marie.
Yes, but not really hard to implement. Snowflake has all the pieces you need tightly integrated, so it's pretty easy to set up. Here, I'll show you the code. OK, so to set up my document repository and make it ready for search, I had to pre-process the documents. I pulled the data from PDFs and chunked the text. Both of these can be done with some Python functions that I actually took from that quick start. Because it was so straightforward, I thought, why don't I also throw in some support chat logs into our document repository? And once you have all that, the next thing you'll need to do is build the search service on top of it. The new Cortex Search API, which I just got access to the private preview, puts all of your documents into a vector space and creates an endpoint where you can ask questions against that repo of documents.
OK, so far it looks like it's just 3 functions to do all of that?
Right. Want to give it a try? I've built a pretty simple chat app on Streamlit to try it out.
Yeah, let's ask it, do you run private events for your food trucks? And if so, what does it usually cost?
OK, our Tasty Bites food trucks, ooh, keyword, food trucks available for private events. What is the cost? When you do that, automatically the text is embedded and the search begins. Woo.
Try Tasty Bites with an S.
Oh, yeah. That good tip. Our Tasty Bites, let's reset the chat here. OK, our Tasty Bites food trucks, available for private events. What is the cost? OK, so that is automatically being embedded, and then the search begins. Also, it's doing both semantic and text keyword search to get the most accurate result. So that's done. And here we can see that the base cost for private events is about $1,000 to $3,000, and then there's a minimum sales guarantee. So that's great. And because it's an API, we could easily expose it into the customer service internal app and have a few of the reps give it a try.
OK, but how do we know where that answer came from? It seems like it would be good to know if it's an internal document versus a previous agent response.
I can totally add that. I actually had it in here for testing. Let's quickly go to the code. OK, first thing I want to point out in this code is that it's not very much code for a pretty sophisticated chat app. Streamlit chat elements handle the whole chat interface, And then I just need to call Cortex Search here, and then call the LLM here in a single line of code. So going up to my function, where I call Cortex Search, we built our search service on our chunks of text, but I also have it return the source description. That way, we can display exactly which document is being provided to the LLM as context, or if it came from a chat log. Here, I'll show you what it looks like. What should we ask next?
Let's ask it about vegetarian options. I hear that our customer service representatives waste a lot of time answering really simple questions like that.
OK, are there any vegetarian options? All right, now we're retrieving, and then we'll be generating. And here it's answering. We see it lists a few vegetarian options. And if we take a look at the source that was retrieved, it was a customer support chat log with a Tasty Bites agent. I guess you're right. That is asked a lot.
This is really great, Marie. By the way, how did you decide what LLM engine to use?
Basically, different models have different strengths and can handle different complexity based on how they were trained and how large they are. So far, I've been using Snowflake Arctic, but I can easily switch to a different model. Here, let's use Mistral Large and ask, what cities are your trucks in? Being able to quickly switch between models makes it so straightforward to find the model that best suits the application you need it for.
Excellent. This is really awesome. So thank you for putting all of this together. It sounds like the document preprocessing and management of vectors was a lot easier than we originally thought it would be.
It definitely was.
In the chat, I saw it wasn't much code, but how hard was it to put it together?
Also easier than expected. And in that code, I even added a few extra bits of logic so that the chat could maintain history and reference previous questions.
That's pretty great. So document backend and chat are all done and ready to deploy. Let's go talk to the rest of the team about this. Hey, team. So in our first meeting, I took some notes and what we wanted to do and what some of the foreseeable challenges to get those across the line. I think both the MVPs that Marie and Felipe did are in really good shape, and we're ready to start putting some of those into production. That was too easy, right? We're almost done putting AI magic into everything, Amanda?
Oh, no. And once we get Felipe's laptop working, I think we're going to be putting AI into a lot more things.
Wait. I have another problem here. Like, remember the review sentiment dashboard?
Yeah.
Suddenly, there's a lot of people complaining about our burritos.
What?
Oh, no.
What do you mean?
The worst burrito in San Francisco. Tasty Bite trucks are serving cold burritos.
What?
What? Oh,
it's
no.
trending on social media, you guys.
Hashtag cold as ice. Hashtag burrito. This is bad.
Oh, gosh. Okay. Talking to the food truck owner should solve the problem, but we have to make it up to those customers. I can easily find them just by filtering on truck and incident date.
That sounds great, but what about all the customer friends that get a cold burrito?
I see what you're saying. If only we had network analytics in place, then we could also find their circle of friends and try to stop any negative sentiment before it gets out of hand.
Let's do that.
Okay, so let me summarize. Marie, you can easily find customers that had the bad experience, but now we also want to find their friends and make sure we can make it right to them by sending them like a free burrito or something. But we don't really have a way to graph the full network of impacted customers and their friends.
Correct.
She's good at summarizing. So, someone needs to get on this right now. Burritos have to be eaten hot.
Yeah, let's get on this right away. Amanda, let's chat on next steps.
Right. This is incredibly frustrating. If we'd implemented and rolled out the AI solutions that we've been talking about, we could have prevented this, or at least reacted more quickly.
Yeah, well, our AI-powered customer sentiment dashboard did alert us to the problem, but we need to enhance our capabilities. One thing I realized is that we don't have the right infrastructure to efficiently build a customer graph that would help us see the relationships between all of the customers.
You know what? I know someone who actually might be able to help with that. I know he's snowboarding today, but let me give him a call.
Oh, hey, Amanda.
Hey, Dash, where are you?
Yeah, I just got back from a snowboarding trip. What's up?
All right, well, I'm not sure if you saw, but we've got a bad PR situation today, and Polita could really use your help. Any chance you'll be back in the office today?
Oh, yeah, I'm dashing there right now.
All right, dash a little quicker. All right, he says he'll be here ASAP, like now. All right, fix it.
Hey, Dash.
Hey, how's it going?
Good day on the mountain?
It was amazing. So much powder, you missed out.
So we had a bit of a burrito scandal while you were out snowboarding.
Okay.
Some of our food trucks served cold burritos, and then it's trending on social media. So what we want to do is be able to find all of the friends of the people who got cold burritos and send them a free promotion, like a burrito or something. And we want to do it like now. Can you help?
Easy peasy. I've done this in the past. I'll need two things.
Okay, hit me.
The first is I need secure access to our customers' data.
Okay, done.
And the second is a vegetarian burrito with black beans.
Okay, I can do that. Coming up. Okay, I thought we were done with projects for the day, but I guess there's always time for one more. Looks like advanced graph analytics just got added to the list of things to do today. We need to find a better way to run solutions directly on Tasty Bytes' account by looking through the Snowflake Marketplace. Can you try searching for graph?
Absolutely. Let's go. My computer's not dead, so that's going to help. All right. Here it is.
Hey, it looks like there's an app called Relational AI that might be just the right thing.
Right, so how do I get access to this?
Well, I'll need to get our account admin to give you access, but in the meantime, let's chat through our approach to solve this.
Good idea. Okay, so I think the most important thing in this scenario is that we figure out how to identify close-knit groups of people who influence each other's buying decisions.
Yeah, so like maybe we can find friends and coworkers that have meals together all the time.
Yeah. That makes sense. Usually when we go out to eat during work, we each pay for our own meals, right? And the card transactions kind of happen all within certain amount of time or minutes within each other.
Yeah, so in theory, they should be just within a few minutes of each other.
Right, so in our logic, first, we'll group based on our transaction time proximity, and we can try using like a 20-minute window just in case some transactions take longer than others.
Yeah, that sounds good. But how do we find coworkers versus strangers who just happen to be buying food at the same time?
Maybe we can look for how frequently those transactions happen.
Yeah, like maybe if there are two customers who buy food on multiple days close to each other, it should be kind of a good signal, right?
Well, yeah, and I can try setting a variable on frequency so that we can understand how strong these relationships are in the network.
Okay, yeah, let's take a look at that and see what you find. I'm going to talk to Amanda and let her know what we're up to.
Sounds good.
Hey, Amanda, just met Dash. He really seems like he knows what he's doing.
He does.
Also, we found an app in the marketplace called Relational AI that might be just the right fit. But I've actually never met anybody who's integrated a third-party app into Snowflake like this before. And I'm a little hesitant to move this beyond experimentation.
All right, valid concern. Well, Snowflake Summit's going on right now. Let me check the agenda and see if there's anything related to this. Oh, it looks like Cash App is using the Relational AI app, and they're speaking about it at Summit. You know, I know the speaker. Let me see if I can catch him before his presentation.
That would be great. Last time, you brought us some really useful feedback.
I try. Hey, Christian.
Hey,
got
Amanda.
time for a quick chat?
Sure. What are we talking about?
All right, I'll meet you down over there. How's your Snowflake Summit going?
It's going well. A lot of interesting conversations with people, actually.
What's been your favorite part so far?
Just talking to people in general. It's been great. How's your summit going?
All right, good. I can be another person that you can talk to because I'm very interested to hear what you've been up to. All right, so thank you so much for taking the time today.
Yeah, for sure.
I've been wanting to talk to you for a while, given your impressive background in network science and behavioral modeling. And I'm really hoping you can help me with a problem that my team is having using a graph computational agent.
Yeah, sure. How can I help?
Okay, well, we're facing a bit of a fire drill today, #BurritoGate, because we serve some cold burritos to customers. We need to identify the group of customers that were impacted by the recent incident so we can win back their loyalty. And even though we know that the incident probably only impacted a few customers, we're worried they might have talked about it to their friends.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, so we'd love to use graph analytics to do some customer behavioral modeling to help solve it.
That makes sense. How familiar are you with graph analytics?
Honestly, not really. You could start at the beginning. That would be great.
Let's start there. So you're probably familiar with the idea that your friends influence your behavior. But did you also know that your friends of friends, your second-order connections, also affect the way you behave, the products that you buy, the brands that you follow?
Yeah, makes sense.
So let's say, for the sake of example, that we wanted to calculate just the number of second-order connections that you have.
Yeah.
If we were to do this the traditional way, using data in the form of rows and columns, we'd have to take a table that has 100 rows, right? And join it with another table that has 100 rows for their friends.
Okay.
So we are already at 10,000 rows.
Okay.
What if we wanted to get the third-order connections? That's another join. That's already 1 million rows.
Yeah.
So what if we wanted to do it, for example, like in our case, for the 57 million Cash App transacting actives?
Okay, see where you're going.
Yeah, so it doesn't scale. We need a better approach. We need a better approach to both store the data and a better approach to analyze the data, better algorithms to analyze the data. And that's what we have been working with this application called Relational AI, which provides solutions for graph analytics. I bet you could use something like that.
That is exactly what I wanted to talk about, because those second and third connections are what we're looking to identify here. And we've been considering using the Relational AI app as well. Can you tell me a little bit more about how you've been using it?
Yeah, so if you think about Cash App's customer base, you really have to think about it as an interconnected graph of customers. Our company creates value by allowing money to flow from one customer to the next. So it's really about those connections that we help maintain and we help facilitate. And as we talked about before, sometimes it's not just about that first-order connection, but about that second and that third-order connection. And that's why we started working with Relational AI as a way to look at our customer base, observe them, observe our graph, and draw insights about who are the most important nodes in the network and how they're connected to each other.
Yeah. Well, that sounds really promising for what we need to do. But take a quick step back. I'm curious about why you chose this app initially. Were you looking at any other solutions?
Yeah, for sure. So we try the usual, call it Python, Spark. And what we found is that they're great general purpose tools, but they're not as efficient for a specific purpose like graph analytics.
Yeah.
So that's why we started working with Relational AI. In our context, efficiency is not just about saving time, but it also unlocks fast experimentation and iteration, which is super important for making really quick, informed decisions.
Yeah. Well, that's exactly what we want, that culture of experimentation and those specialized tools that can help us solve really specialized problems. Can you just talk to me a little bit more about your experience using the app?
Yeah, for sure. To be completely honest, when we started working with them, I didn't believe them. So as scientists, we decided to put their methods to the test. And we picked two classes of algorithms that are very common in network analytics. Community detection algorithms that are used to segment customers into different groups. And centrality metrics that are used to identify the most important nodes in the network. These two algorithms are very famous for being very resource intensive and very time consuming. And honestly, the results were pretty impressive. We saw a 10-fold reduction in both compute time and compute cost. I actually have another magical diagram for you that will show up at some point.
There it is, the magical diagram.
Magical diagram.
Some technology still works.
Some might say that we made it with AI. Maybe that's not right. So if you look at the diagram, in simple terms, we used our data to create a bunch of graphs.
Yeah.
We moved the graphs from a traditional database to graphs to a relational AI's graph relations, which we could use to run all the algorithms over and iterate really quickly over them. So this enabled that quick and fast experimentation in different ways to build the graph, different ways to measure the graph, and different ways to understand our customer base. So we were able to answer questions such as, what are the most important nodes in the network? What are the biggest communities? What is the sphere of influence of some of our customers? I bet you could do something like that for your cold burritos problem.
Yes. Well, we're looking to answer very similar questions, and being able to do so 10 times faster and cheaper sounds really appealing.
Yeah, absolutely. And for us also, the speed efficiency unlocks on-demand graph analytics, which are really difficult to do otherwise. The relational AI tool that we got, by the way, through the marketplace, is already starting to democratize the process of graph analytics, because it's not just for Spark experts or people with a PhD in graph metrics. Anyone can use the tool because it's really efficient to use, really fast, and really user-friendly. Yeah. So actually, the shift that we're seeing is already improving its performance as well. We're hoping to start integrating this tool into our processes, and we're hoping to start seeing some cost reductions because moving away from legacy systems, and starting to just, in general, up-level our analysts to start thinking about graph metrics by developing a shared language around that. Super exciting stuff for us.
Well, that's really cool, and you guys are obviously way ahead of us in terms of how you're using Snowflake. Well, it sounds like I need to check out the marketplace to see if there's some other tools that we could be using.
Yeah, so the way I see it is that in order to go far, you need the right tool for the job. But sometimes that means you need to go a little bit slower because learning and onboarding new tools, it takes time. In terms of graph metrics, it often feels like we're using a canyon to hit a fly instead of just picking up a fly swatter. And with the marketplace, that trade-off between going far and going slow is not that much there anymore, because we can just pick up that fly swatter from the toolbox, and we can both go far with the right tool and move at a relatively quick pace because we don't have that upstart cost that comes with new tools.
That's really cool. I hadn't been thinking about that upstart cost, but we've got a lot of flies, and I could use some more fly swatters. So I can see how having a lot of the best-of-breed solutions just a click away could really help our team move faster.
Yeah, from my perspective, in the end, I'm just using the same tools I've always been using. I'm just writing SQL.
Well, that's amazing. I really appreciate the wisdom and insights.
Yeah.
Thank you so much for taking the time today.
Happy to help.
Yeah. Can we get a round of applause for Ethan? Thank you so much. Enjoy Snowflake Summit. I hear it's awesome. All right, I'm just going to let the team know the good news. You know that Snowflake Native app you found in the marketplace? Well, Cash App's behavioral analytics team tested it during its private preview, and their feedback has put it in really good shape for us to start using. Also, the team saw a 10x improvement over general tools like Python and Spark. So, looks like we might get way more than just data security benefits. Send.
Did you see the email from Amanda? That's great reassurance. Stash, how's it been going for you?
Really good. I used the logic we discussed about focusing on transactions within a 20-minute window that have occurred over multiple days at the same food truck. Want to see what I found?
Yeah, I do. Show me.
Hey, who else is ready to go? Let's go. All right, so with Relational AI Snowflake Native App, I can build a knowledge graph in my Snowflake account. And I can see that I can use the ID of my choice, which is VS Code. Here, I can also use both extensions, as you can see right here. It's pretty cool. Now, I'm going to go ahead and run this first cell. Let me hide this. OK, so what's happening here is I'm importing all the libraries, including Relational AI. This is going to take a few seconds, so let me show you what the raw data looks like in my Snowflake account. There you go. So we've got all the details we need to basically create a knowledge graph. All right, let's go back. couple more things before we move on. So the model in this context is referencing the data in my Snowflake account. And because of the tight integration between Snowflake and relational AI, I can refer to my data by fully qualifying it right here. What we're also doing here is querying the model so we know how many transactions we have to work with. Looks like we have about 1.6 million transactions. That's pretty neat, right?
Yeah.
OK, let's move on. I'm going to go ahead and run this cell. Now, to construct the knowledge graph, we'll start by defining nodes and other types, like, for example, customers, trucks, and transactions. In doing so, the model maps the link between the food trucks that each customer visits. Now, once we have that, we'll be able to start applying additional business rules to identify a list of impacted circle of friends.
OK,
now,
that sounds great.
Yeah, sorry. What else? We're also finding the groups of customers who have placed orders at the same food truck within a 20-minute window. But of course, just because I buy a meal at a food truck behind someone doesn't actually mean that I know the person or I'm going to have any impact on that person's buying decisions. So let's talk about the next business rule we want to apply on top of this. So to identify groups of coworkers or friends, we look for transaction patterns that occur at least 5 times. Now, this would be our best signal to know 2 customers are likely to grab meals together on multiple occasions. Wow, that was a mouthful.
Well, it all makes sense.
Thank you. Now, this is going to take a few more seconds. Do you want to hear a joke?
I do want to hear a joke.
All right. Why do graphs go to school?
Why do graphs go to school?
Because they know that they need to improve their education. Few more seconds. What I'm going to do right now is show you my dog. This one right here. See? That's my puppy.
That's your dog?
Yes.
Aw, he's adorable.
No. All right. So a couple more seconds, and we'll have total number of customer transactions between 2 customers that have had meals at the same food truck within 20-minute window, right? And boom, 1.2 million. Cool?
Yeah, that's a lot.
All right, so let's move on. I'm going to run this cell. Now, we're going to identify those stronger connections by applying the frequency rule. The 2 customers should have had placed orders together multiple times, like we just discussed, at least 5 times, which is right here, right? And then by the end of the cell, we'll have, again, total relevant transactions. So we have about 9,700 transactions to work with. Now that we have the nodes and edges defined, let's apply a well-known community algorithm called Luvian. This will help us construct a community graph. All right, now we're ready to construct the graph. At the top, I've defined a Python function that's going to generate a random color so that we can distinguish between random communities, right? And also visualize the nodes and edges. Now, by the time this thing runs, we'll have total number of nodes, edges, and also communities. Oh, there we go. 3,000 nodes, about 4,000 edges, 5,000 edges, and 555 communities. Boom. As we can see here, our customer base has been transformed into a community graph.
Wow, that's really cool.
Yeah, and then let's take a look at one of these. So what you see here is the customer ID. And then on the edge, it shows you how many times they've had meals together within a 20-minute window at the same food truck.
So how do we use this to get a list of customers and their friends?
Easy. All I have to do is run this cell right here, and I can turn this cool graph analysis back into an easy-to-use list in a Snowflake table. So it looks like the cell is run. Let's preview the table that I just created. Select star from communities. Always typos. Well, it's better to cut and copy and paste. So I can also show you code right here. There it is. Now I can combine this with affected customer list from Marie and share it with the marketing team. This way, we can run a more complete campaign to get our customer satisfaction scores back on track. Should we share this news back with the team?
This is amazing, Dash, and you are awesome.
Thank you.
Nice job.
Hey guys, we did it! I was able to figure out our network of customers and their friends. I'll share over the list to the marketing team so that they can load up the promotional email with the free burrito coupon code. Yes?
All right, well, that was quite the roller coaster. Glad we were able to tackle that one so quickly, and seriously well done. And we should probably look in the marketplace for other apps that could speed us up.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, Polita, I think you can cross this one off your list as well.
Already did. So we made some really great progress in getting AI magic everywhere, right, Amanda?
Definitely.
But I noticed we actually have an opportunity to do even more. Like, I saw that Felipe found the truck health review form information, and maybe we can use that to run more analytics on top of it.
Great idea.
There's a lot to do, but maybe it's enough for today.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Aren't you forgetting something?
I am not. Dash, your bean burrito?
Yes, you remember.
And bean
awesome.
burrito.
Thank you.
For you too, Amanda.
Ooh. Oh, and piping hot.
So what I'm going to do now is actually make my way to Snowflake Summit and check out more of the sessions and to do some networking. And guess what?
What?
I'm really excited about Dev Day tomorrow. Who else is excited? Yes. I'm going to be doing a hands-on lab on Gen AI. Please check it out. It's going to be amazing.
All right, and talking about tomorrow, that reminds me that it is time to wrap up this Tasty Bites episode. Jeff, Felipe, Marie, can you come join us on stage? All right, we are really excited about Dev Day tomorrow, and I think today you saw some of the power, right, of what Snowflake can deliver to really accelerate development teams. We really are excited to see you tomorrow. All of us will be here if you want to talk chocolate or bean burritos or anything like that. And this is the wrap of season 2 of Tasty Bites, which, time for one more joke. Do you know what you call the second season of Tasty Bites? The sequel. Sequel? Sequel? Well, somebody got it. All right.
Thank you, everyone, so much. Have a great rest of your day. Thank you.
Thank you. I need to hug you.